started. I'm just getting started.
Yeah, rain, there's nothing that can stop me. I know one thing. Please approach with caution. I do not.
Okay, be honest, it's story time. And my story, what's really unique about my story, it's not seeing any level of success. Not yet. You can see, got you by the fire. So let's go ahead and check it out. So you may be wondering who I am. First off, my name's Justice, and you've come to the CryoChampion evolution. I've been trying to be a YouTuber for quite some time now. A couple times I've tried this out. When I was a kid and a teenager, that's when I first started. When I was 14 and started creating YouTube videos, and primarily I started in creating Call of Duty gaming videos. I was following a YouTuber called Ali A, and he was one of the few people who got me into it. I wanted to do YouTube commentaries of video games. I started playing video games, was recording myself, literally used one of these things, my phone, to record the gameplay and try to do commentaries. Here's the thing, I wasn't very good at it. Actually, I sucked at it.
First week will be kind of a little bit messed up. After that, I'll be...
That's okay. It's a good thing because it gave me an opportunity to really learn more about how to do it. And then that's when I really moved on to something really unique. And what was really interesting on moving forward, now trying something else, filming it with my cell phone, to making montages. Montages was really the unique change in how I was making content when it came to my gaming experience. Really didn't work out the way I thought it would. I was very much thinking, oh, I'm gonna go blow up and be as big as someone like Ali A or T Martin. And even interesting is like when I started joining teams for editing and creating my own team, that's when I really discovered what really kind of changed my perspective of things. I really thought what I was doing was the right thing. And you know what? At 14, I was doing the right thing. I was learning so much about it and eventually I learned how to do flow editing, which was super unique and super different. That really changed my editing style in a lot of different ways. So that's why I had to move on to the next thing, because that's how it was. I kept changing my mind, as I still do. When I was in high school and at the end of my middle school years, I was really interested in wanting to make games. My first idea was pretty interesting. It was supposed to be like this futuristic war game where, I don't know, we were using guns or something. We were aliens and other weird things going on. The idea that I really wanted to make was so deep and so interesting, and I still want to do it. Not just myself creating this. It was my best friend, my cousin, and myself, and we were creating this game because we liked the game Elder Scrolls. We loved Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It was a huge hit in our childhoods, and we loved playing this game. And I don't know if you've ever watched the Honest trailer for Skyrim or even know what Skyrim is, but if you do, DLC that you could get, we could fly a dragon. And our idea stemmed from, what if you could turn into a dragon? And we started creating a world around it. Hell, I'm literally wearing on my arms characters I created for that world, which is super unique. And really, you should see what that looks like. So my dream of creating video games really stemmed in a lot of different ways. You know, I wanted to tell stories. I've been a storyteller almost my entire life in some form or another. So I started learning everything I could about animation and spending lots of time learning about games and how they were made. But most importantly, learning how to make environments and characters. So it came to a chance where I got to go somewhere to try out learning this skill. Not only was I learning filmmaking and animation in high school, I eventually started looking at what was out there and available for me in terms of post-secondary schooling. I ended up going for a week at Vancouver Film School, trying out their summer intensive animation program, and had a lot of fun. Made some videos, vlogged it, and it was a good time. I didn't really like the school itself. I didn't believe in the philosophies that it told me it had. The school I was really interested in was Think Tank Training Center. That pick was great. I chose it well, and applied. Sent all of my work that I had done at the time to the school, in hopes of, well, getting accepted. And here's the thing that kind of sucks. I ended up getting rejected. And what did I do in this situation? I didn't actually give up. The first thing I did, decided, well, this is what I gotta do. I'm gonna go to my art teacher and ask him for help. He got me on to drawing anime style drawings. And this actually greatly improved my drawing skill. I got so much better at drawing faces and bodies just from learning character design from a Japanese anime style. It was basic enough for me to practice developing the skills I needed to do it. It had to evolve. Even though I didn't get into the school, I still wanted to go to school after I adapted. And I applied for film school. And the school I went to was called Focus Film School. Learned a lot about filmmaking, made movies. Honestly, I probably really misused film school for what it could have been. The relationships I had with my classmates. I only really had one friendship in my class, which for a class of only 12 people, that's kind of disappointing. I cared more about that one individual in my class than trying to really build relationships with all those classmates and building my skills and understanding of what I wanted to do. After I graduated, I started working in the film industry. What was really great about it was a lot of fun. First, I started off as a production assistant and, well, did it for a year and absolutely hated it. See, working in the film industry is really unique, but a lot of it was driving around and taking care of the locations we were at. And I hated it. Didn't like that I would stand in the same spot for hours on end and doing nothing. I think it really fed into my laziness that I feel today. What I really cared about was, well, lighting. Manipulating light. Turning lights on. That's what I was really interested about. I wanted to be a director of photography, so that's where it really continued on. I started working as a lighting technician. You know, I'd wear outfits like this where I'm wearing flip-flops. Actually, no, not at all. Socks and flip-flops is not very common in the film industry. Wouldn't even suggest wearing flip-flops if you work as a lighting technician. After about 5 years in the industry, I just started to think, this can't be everything. I made some short films.
He really was, believe me.
So, you see, there's lots to it, lots to working in film, and I enjoyed it as much as I possibly could, especially as a lighting technician. I got to do some cool shit. Got to work on some really cool productions. Hell, I got to work on the first season of Percy Jackson, which is wild to say because I actually was an active crew member working on that production. But eventually I had to get out of it. I was just done. I was getting tired of the long hours I was working and not having much of a life. At the time, I was really getting depressed working in the film industry. I was much bigger than what I look now. I was very unathletic. I was working all the time and just nothing else was going on in my life. Film was my life. All my interactions with people was film. If that was all life had for me, what's the point in staying? What needed to happen was I needed to move on. I needed to find what I was really interested in. Then I started doing sales. I was making phone calls, and you know what? Here's the honest damn truth about it. I have so much to learn. Here I am doing phone sales, trying to sell things high ticket wise and trying to figure out if this is, right for someone else too. I didn't know what I was doing. I had so much to learn and struggled. 10-hour days of calls, barely making any money, and I don't know, was it the program itself? Was it my skill? Probably all of that. The skill was very difficult, but eventually I had to stop doing that too, because I couldn't afford not making anything. I had to move back in with my family. It's not something I wanted to do. It was temporary, but I did it anyways. And then it continued to get better. I got another job. I started working with windows and doors. This was great because it really allowed me to have more time to really focus on my fitness. That was the job that then led me to eventually work as a server and a bartender. Then I was supposed to move, go to another country. I was hoping to go to Australia. That didn't work out. Then I was hoping I'd go to the UK. Got my passport, had my plane ticket booked, and as soon as the time rolled around, got closer and closer to that. It didn't work out. And I still want to travel. It's a huge part of my life. It is a huge thing that I would like to achieve. But the whole reason of some of the decisions I made in order to try and help me get there was supposed to be to help me. And those decisions unfortunately ended up being my downfall because I ended up a lazy piece of shit. And I'm done being that lazy piece of shit. I've realized that a lot of it is coming in my own head. I want to build connections with people. Because eventually after I was at that point of I was planning to go travel, I was trying to figure out how can I make money to go. And it's been this constant choice of, do I either build something and go, or do I work on a career and go, or how do I do it? I'm figuring this out. I wanted to be around people who are gonna inspire me and to motivate me to do things. I'm gonna apply to work at a gym. And I applied at the gym I was going to, and ended up getting a job again in sales as one of the sales representatives for membership. Again, a whole new challenge for me to figure something completely new and completely different that excited me in a new way. And because of it, it allowed me to an opportunity to really expand and take me to where I am now. It inspired me while I was there to become a certified personal trainer. And although the gym ended up letting me go because I wasn't getting enough new members to join, and I, again, still suck at sales and have a lot to learn, therein lies what needed to happen. And now I'm a certified personal trainer trying to become a personal trainer, and then also trying to build this brand, becoming that CryoChampion, because this is the evolution of the CryoChampion. So where does this all really lead? Seriously, now that I'm becoming and evolving myself into becoming that CryoChampion, as it were, why did I want to tell you this story? Why am I creating this brand? What's important here is I want to inspire other people to really understand that everyone who tells you their story, they almost, like, I simplified my story in such a way, but they say it in the simple stance of, I started here and then I'm here and now I'm achieving this. Especially with people who to deal with success. I wanted to try and figure out, how do I tell my story without creating such a simple understanding of what's around me, of my actual life, because that's not the truth. My story and my life is still evolving and going on. And that life is more complicated than the simplistic ways some people like to try and preach. Life isn't simple, it's complicated. Relationships are complicated. Why I'm starting this personal brand is not only to inspire people, but to show them that there are unconventional ways to viewing the world. Anything I make here on out is going to be unconventional in the way I see things. If you really like this video, do me a favor. Tell me what you think. Hit that like button. Tell me how you felt about it. And if you want to see more content from myself and see where this journey can go, and if you feel inspired in some way, hit the subscribe button. And even if this video doesn't get seen, or you hear about this video years in the future, again, I still want to hear your story and hear what that is, and let's create that together.